Hello and welcome back to QP Shooting Dangerous. Apparently there's a QP Shooting 1, by the way. This is on hard mode, and I'm just going to talk about hard mode for a little bit. So on this stage, in hard mode, wow, 35, 36, so it has a variance of frames. Okay, that was for me, for Camtasia. Hard mode, here's the thing. It actually changes a lot of the mechanics, and it's quite surprising to me. On this stage, the balloons have 2 bullets attached, like 2 missiles attached to them. The green balloons, hopefully they'll show up sometime. Meanwhile, well, actually no, I don't have, like, on last stage, the crows, actually, okay. The crows, whenever they were hit, because I'm pretty sure that's what triggers their feathers, they shot, they threw 4 out instead of 3. I think that was what they did on normal. Damn it! I wasn't capable. You know, I'm just gonna go way up here for a bit. Hope you guys don't mind. There, so, yeah. Okay, well, good job, Berlick. So talking ruined this run. I want you to know that right now. Yeah, so I actually really like that QP, that on hard mode, the mechanics just all change. However, there is a criticism I want to levy here. It's really hard to dodge, and I wish we would have kept going because I could have pointed it out better. It's really hard to dodge bullets whenever all of those stars are flying in and all those point numbers are being displayed, because the point numbers are in orange. Some of the shot is yellow. Like, the shot colors are kind of, it's too messy. The green stars look like the green bullets. The yellow stars look like the yellow bullets. The numbers popping up, because you can't focus on one thing. It'd be, on normal you can kind of focus a little bit more on like what's happening around your character. On hard, you're kind of being cognizant of the entire screen, and like you can't just focus on your character. You got to focus on everything, because you have to find the hole. And and I guess on the equivalent of lunatic mode, the hardest mode on this game, I don't know what it's called, but dangerous mode, I don't know. But I think that would be the biggest factor there, is that the stars coming in, the numbers popping up, and the hyper circle. All 3 of those combined make it very, very hard to distinguish bullets that are very close to you. So it's very hard to weave through bullets, because all of these numbers and these stars and everything, which you're constantly getting as you kill enemies, are blocking out, are not blocking them, but, they're adding color around the bullets, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the bullets are, or at least it is for me. And I'm really, really bad at differentiating shades of the same color, so I can't, I find this to be the hardest thing ever, pretty much. I darkened the stage, but that doesn't darken the area around QP, and that really, really should. Around her specifically should be darkened a little bit more. But the big thing, like I said, is the stars and the numbers. You should be able to just turn those off, because I don't really need to see the stars fly into me. Yeah, is it gratifying to know, like, I'm racking up these points and I get the sound effect? Yeah, it's awesome. It really is. But whenever, I feel like it's a little bit too much, though. Like, I should be able to turn it off, because then I could focus better on on the bullets that are flying around me, and hopefully avoid them a little bit better. But with all that stuff happening, around QP, it's very tough to just focus on her, and that's the biggest problem, I think. So, if there was one thing that I would like to see them fix, which Orange Juice hopefully has heard this criticism, because they're really far away, and this is a localization well after the game's made, is that they would put in an option to just not show the stars, and to not show the point values being popped up, and maybe even change the hypercolor, because I have a yellow hypercolor because I was playing on aggressive, but even the blue hypercolor, it's still a bullet color that's used. So, or put it as a gauge on the right side. That would be like a Toho thing, where they try to move everything that's unnecessary out of the screen and to the side. Well, like, not unnecessary, but not life-threatening to the character. They move they move it all to the side onto those, like, the what essentially was taken up by those bars. Um, and that area is where, like, that's where, in my opinion, the hyper bar should be. That way it's out of the way, and the player can easily see it because they'll probably like change color whenever it's full or whatever. Um, and since it's off on its own, easily seen, as opposed to around the player where it is easy to see because you just suddenly gain a circle around you, but it's kind of like this vibrating color. Maybe I'm just wrong, but it helps block, like, it helps confuse me. I can't focus on bullets as well. And then the other thing is QP's health bullet, like the little circle that denotes where QP's health is. That is not exactly obvious enough, in my opinion. And that would, so it's just color. It's really just mostly color and UI, really, that I would like to see changed if they made another shoot 'em up. Bullet hells, I like. This is a bullet hell shoot 'em up. It's actually like a, what is it? A curtain. I don't even remember. Curtain bullet hell shoot 'em up thing. There's good names for these things. But yeah, like, that's all I would like to see changed. I actually think the game is very fun for like the 3 hours so far I've played it. But that's a glaring error to me. Like, the fact that there's different mechanics in boss fights, and when you change difficulty, things change as well. Like the crows throwing more feathers. The boss fight with Kiyosuke, which hopefully you'll see some of in the background because I've given up on playing now. So I'll just play after and stick the footage in. But like the in his final form, the tendril things that moved around, or in his first form actually, the tendril things that like moved all the way up the screen were easier to pop. You could kill them easier, but they came all over the place, which I know that sounds very sexual, but they would come up from like the very middle of the screen. They could come up and they would wave a lot, a lot more to the left and right. They weren't as confined, restricted in how they were moving, so they could go, like, they could take some crazy designs, and it made the fight pretty damn difficult. I had to actually like move QP pretty much right up against Kiyosuke at one point because I thought I was safe. I had dodged one of the the tendril things, and then it just suddenly turned and came right at QP. And of course, after a second they shoot off those bullets as well, so it's like, oh god, gotta get out of here. But yeah, it's very fun. It's very fun to see the changes and stuff, and I'm really glad that that's a feature of this game, and I'm glad that there are, like, the bosses each have these special mechanics. But like, because the Arbit thing is just phenomenal to me. Like, getting your Arbit stolen is like the greatest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why that impresses me nearly as much as it does, but I've never seen a bullet hell do it, or at least not to my memory. But yeah, why have I been rambling so much? Anyway, long story short, while hard mode is cool in how it adjusts the game, the numbers, the stars, and the hyper circle are all excess. They do not need to be there. They interfere with the player being able to see where the bullets are, and the circle that denotes QP's health, it needs to be a different color. And that all of those changes would make this game much better, because you would be better able to weave through bullets, and the player would just be able to fight better. Now, if Orange Juice was crazy and actually did that intentionally, I guess these criticisms don't count, but that'd be dumb, because that hurts in my opinion, that hurts the player experience. To not really be able to see bullets, and to be kind of like, you feel gypped when you get hit. Like, I've been hit so many times by these bullets that I just didn't see, because, like, I didn't differentiate them from numbers or stars. And it just doesn't feel good to get hit by those. And it didn't feel good to it doesn't feel good to think that the stars are actually bullets and like panic and throw yourself somewhere and be like, oh, now I just feel stupid. So I would like to see that changed. I know that Orange Juice in no way, shape, or form will ever find this video, especially because I'm not titling it QP Shooting Dangerous Review, because I don't do reviews and I don't even know how to go about doing a review. Those glaring issues really will need to be addressed. If like not, it doesn't need to be addressed, but I feel like it should be addressed if they want to make this like as good as it could be, or make the next one as good as it could be, because this could be so much more. The experience could be so much better, just if those things didn't exist. Like if you could, if there's so many words that are hard to pronounce and do. What have I been doing? Why am I confused? Anyway, those changes would make this game great. I still recommend this game. I highly recommend this game. This game is awesome. It really is. Yeah, Touhou's better, blah blah blah. Touhou's also harder. I would recommend buying both series, to be honest. Buy the QP shooting games. Buy all the Touhou's. Do it. They're fantastic if you like bullet hells. If you don't like bullet hells, completely understand. Completely understand. Alright, well, I just wanted to real quickly, like, because, you know, I did a video on this. I wanted to real quickly just give some extra thoughts based on me playing it a little more. I'm going to be hitting this hard, probably. I've only played it for 3 hours right now, maybe 4. I just had to say what I said about hard because it was just so in my face whenever I was trying it. Kind of pissed me off. Nah, it didn't really piss me off. It kind of just, but it hurts. I'm never gonna put as many hours into this as I do Touhou games just because of that. It makes me real sad.